gonna use $260,000 for equipment. 40,000 of that was going for tree removal and dozer work. And there's exactly right now $100,000 worth of rock sitting down at that river ready to go on a road. 100,000 free rock.
I have no problem with the rock being used to build the road. The camera is not time sensitive. If they sell the camera we were looking at, and we decide that yes, we are going to go ahead with the camera purchase, and we're going to utilize it for whatever work we're doing, we'll either shop for a different one, or we'll order a brand new one. That
Wait, let's stop right now. You was presented a $1 million project on them interceptors. $3.36 per capita. $1 million. $300,000. We're going down there and starting to take care of our problem and get in compliance with the EPA. Am I not correct? You're not going to take a risk for $300,000 to save the taxpayers that kind of money. You're not going to take that risk.
I'm not.
My head is on the chopping block. Nobody else is on the chopping block but mine. I want to save the taxpayers the money for water and sewer. That's what I'm after. Give these men a chance to do their job.
I have a question.
Yeah, Tom.
If we had that camera, how often would it get used? In other words,
Every day.
this would become part of your regular maintenance.
This is part of our long-term control plan. And Thursday night, I'll present a long-term control plan for the city. That's my second statement. Had we had a camera on D'Angelo's deal, we wouldn't have been waiting 3 or 4 days
I'm not
to
arguing
check
the
it.
point on
I know.
the equipment. What I'm saying
We
is,
need that
the
equipment.
question is, can we afford to do this equipment now?
Yes, the bank says we can.
The only point that I would make is that the only records that we have to go by, and I wasn't at the last meeting, and I apologize for that. We had an expenditure of $14,000 over 5 years for the camera usage. Now, we're talking about spending $70,000.
Well, I don't know where you come up with the $14,000 because in the stimulus project we had used a lot of stimulus money.
That's not, the $14,000 is not complicated, and fiasco on.
But you gotta look at that. That's part of our line. That has not even been cameraed yet. This section here on that east part's not even been cameraed yet. The last.
The only numbers that I've heard are 14,000.
And you're right. And I did not say, I'm not looking at purchasing a camera. I'm saying, we're not looking at that tonight. I'm not recommending we take that loan out for that amount tonight. I'm saying we continue that discussion, and as we proceed closer to the projects and establish timelines, goals, and long-term projections of what can get done, then we look at the camera. It's not a time-sensitive purchase.
Mike, we're right here in winter. There's a man back there that needs to get cutting trees. We got workers that are starting to do some painting. They could be hauling rock and we could be getting that road in. By the time that truck comes, which is what, 2 months off or so? By the time it gets here, we could be ready to start. We could be ready of cleaning and cameraing interceptors.
I had spoken with John about this, and he said, what we do now is we're ready to camera when we absolutely have to. And in our discussions with John and Jack, I assume Jack was involved in it too, it would get used a lot more, and maybe we could avoid some of the
It's
problems.
part of our long-term plan.
It's not something that it just get used when something explodes, we've got to go down. Would this be used weekly, monthly?
We're going to put 2 men on that truck, and we're going to do our long-term plan, and we're going to go start checking
If we got
lines.
all this time for these guys, they must have done nothing for 20 years. If they've got if there's enough manpower on that squad to handle everything you want them to do, they mustn't have had nothing to do.
Well, you don't think they can work one day on a sewer line and go back and do some camera?
I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if we have the manpower to handle all of this equipment and all that they've done in the past.
Chuck, tractor truck out and they start messing with it, and then we gotta hire somebody to come in for $3 a foot to camera it. And to clean it, cut the roots.
I agree with the vacuum truck, I agree with that, that's unnecessary.
All three of them's necessary for
I
them.
don't know about the camera, because the only thing I've got to look at is $14,000 in 5 years. That's the only
Do
number
you
that I'm
agree to doing a $1 million project down there or not?
The only thing I've got to look at this moment about this, a conversation, discussion, is the $14,000 for 5
Okay, you agree to do a $1 million project and not take a risk of 300 and getting that project done?
I agree right now to a $14,000 expense for camera usage in 5 years.
And I don't.
70 years, or I'm sorry,
And I don't.
$70,000 of that,
I don't.
in 20 years, the camera may be
Probably paid for over and over and over by the city.
the technology.
Probably paid for over and over. Do you want to take?
Probably, because in